Thank you, Mr. Sept. For the past 6 months, if I've been asked one question more than any other, it has been, why are you joining the military? And understandably so, I am far from the stereotypical military brat. And oftentimes my answer has been the oh so original, I want my life to have some meaning behind it. And that's really just a nicer way of saying I don't want to have an hour-long discussion with you, so stop asking so many questions. Choosing a college is stressful, especially when everyone needs to know every minute aspect of your decision. And we overcomplicate this with so many pointless details. What's the school ranked? Is it on the East Coast or the West Coast? Is it a wet campus? The point of college, ultimately, is to get you from point A to point B. But therein lies the problem. We may all be standing here at point A, but everyone's destination is different. And the worst part, none of us have a clue where it is. And for better or for worse, this one choice is driving us all towards that unknown destination. Now, you can let this existential fear ruin you and prevent you from making a rational choice. You would be far from the first. Or you can make your own destination. Chart your own course rather than blindly following the stars. Thus, the key is not to look at the colleges for what they are, but for where they can bring you. I may have given a cheesy answer every time someone asked me why I'm going to USNA, but it was true. Meaning is important, not the rest of this. Meaning is what lets you look back on your life with pride. It's that core set of values and belief that influence every decision you make. So, whether you choose to follow that meaning is up to you. Which is why my piece of advice for choosing a college is to forget about every college. Forget about classes and teachers and everyone's expectations of you, because all of that is inconsequential. The first step is to ask yourself, what would give my life meaning? Now, this question can of course be answered any number of ways, and I dare say so that as long as it's honest, there is no wrong answer. I, like many others, decided that meaning for me could only be found in service. But service is a broad term and can be found in any number of things. One could say that service is waking up in the early hours of the day to volunteer at their local homeless shelter, while another will find service in their own home, giving up what could have been a life of luxury in order to support a growing family. And I'm sure none of us can deny that choosing a life of medicine is choosing a life of service. But for me, it's more than that. I need to live it and breathe it, and perhaps more importantly, it needs to be something that only I can do, that I feel built for. I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to service, but that didn't get me much closer to finding my goal. Which is why you must keep digging. There isn't going to be just one thing that gives your life meaning. There are countless things, each to varying degrees, and it is this combination of these values that will forge your path ahead of you. And whatever meanings you find do not have to be so noble in nature. Intrinsic to my values is my belief in hard work, dedication, discipline. I'm a perfectionist, and to give anything less than my full effort, well, just isn't enough. I don't want to just help others. I want to be the best. I want to push myself until I fail miserably and then push myself back up and try again. Only through hard work can you reach your limits, your potential. This idea of becoming the best version of myself is important to me, and possibly the greatest factor in my ultimate decision. But at the same time, it's frightening. I'm condemning myself to fail, time and time again, just in the hope that I improve rather than get defeated. But don't be afraid of what you believe in. If that belief is strong, then that means it's right. Follow that belief, no matter how scared it may make you. Now, those were really 2 examples of what I learned about myself in these months of self-analysis that culminated in me deciding to join the Naval Academy. But it was not my only option. And this here was possibly the most difficult part of all of this. The choice. The crossroads. The point where your values conflict. Where you could see yourself going down 2 completely different paths. In the end, not every piece of the puzzle will fit together. There is no one path that will give you everything, and this wore me down for months on end. While I can't speak for everyone in the senior class, I am sure that many of us have reached that point, or it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders because you have to make this one decision. But it's wrong. And I didn't realize this until several weeks ago in Mr. Sanchez's class, when we shortly talked about the philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre. In this discussion, I learned of a problem that felt awfully similar to my own. In short, a man is forced to choose between joining the military to fight for a cause he believes in or staying home to help his old mother. I couldn't help but compare his struggle with my own, albeit with a different alternative to joining the military. This man has two conflicting moral beliefs, and he can only choose one. Clearly, no matter what, there will be consequences from his decision because he will abandon some of his beliefs for another. But that's not the point. In fact, there is a right answer to his dilemma. Either one. What he chooses becomes the right answer because he is following his values, which is more than many can say. I had to remember that the choices presented to me weren't bad. I was blessed with two brilliant possibilities. All I had to do was choose, damn the consequences, and know that I had made the right choice. And so I did. And so that is why I am attending the Naval Academy. I say this because soon each and every one of you will have to make a choice. And if you do it right, it will be the right one. Follow your values, follow your beliefs, and know that only you can give the rest of your life meaning. Am I being a little dramatic for just choosing a college? After all, plenty of you will switch schools or majors at least once. Perhaps. I can't resist being a tad dramatic, and if this is how I'm going to go out, then I'd like it to be with at least a little flair. But I stand by what I said. Don't start the rest of your life based on a win, or even worse, because of someone else's expectations. Choose where you're going to start it, and know that you have made the right choice. And so now for the thank you section. This isn't really my thing, so I will try to keep this brief, and sorry if you get left out. To my coaches, Coach Blev and Coach Lamb, thank you for teaching me the importance of hard work. I know that without you, the idea of applying to USNA never would have crossed my mind. I would like to thank my grandparents who learned how to use Zoom in order to watch this, my sisters for always teaching me and opening me up to new ideas. To Mom and Dad, thank you, Dad, for believing in me more than anyone else. You are genuinely proud of all that I do, and even if I always tell you to stop bugging others with stories of me, I appreciate your unconditional support. Thank you, Mom, for being a role model and putting others before yourself. You are the hardest worker I know, and even when you can't seem to stand your job, you always push through in order to give me and my sisters the best lives possible. I can only hope to be as good of a parent one day as the both of you. And lastly, to my wonderful girlfriend, Christy Mordini. I know you're going to yell at me for throwing the spotlight on you, but it's worth it. You're always there for me when I need you the most, even if I don't always deserve it. You are the kindest and most compassionate woman I've ever met, and I'm a better person because of you. When I think back at my time in high school, you will always be my happiest memory. Thank you.
All right, so the only thing missing is our applause. So I'm going to unmute everybody so we can give Jaden our applause. Hi, Jaden! Meaning, let's go. Brilliant, brilliant.